equation of displacement, velocity of SHM, acceleration of SHM when velocity is maximum, when velocity is acceleration is maximum. Okay, so now discuss its numerical students. So see the question. For SHM velocity is given by 4v square upon 25 minus x square. For SHM velocity is given by 4v square equal to 25 minus x square. We want to find its time period. Okay, we want to find its time period, and options are pi, 2 pi, 4 pi, and 6 pi. Okay, for SHM velocity is given by 4v square equal to 25 minus x square. So see students, how to find, see velocity is 4v square equal to 25 minus x square. But students, what is the standard equation of velocity for SHM? So that is what? For SHM students, for SHM velocity is given by v plus or minus omega under root s square minus s square. Okay, so now this is the equation of velocity for SHM. But students, now we convert velocity in this form. Okay, then compare both the equation. This is the equation of SHM for velocity. Now convert this velocity into this form. So first divide by 4. First divide by 4. Now take root. So we can take plus or minus. What is the root of 1 by 4? 1 by 2. And here we write 25 minus x square. So now this velocity is converted into this form. So now compare both. So students, see what is the amplitude? 25. See here 25, here a square, so a square equal to 25. So what is amplitude? 5. But we want to find the time period, so find omega. See here 1 by 2, here omega, so omega is equal to 1 by 2. Omega means 2 pi by t. So what is the time period? What is the time period? 4 pi second, right? What is our time period? 4 pi second. This is the final time period, 4 pi second. Sure. Now next, for SHM displacement is given by x equal to x naught cos omega t minus 5 by 0, and acceleration is given by, small a is the acceleration, capital A is amplitude. Acceleration is given by cos omega t plus delta. Acceleration is given by cos omega t plus delta. So we want to find amplitude and delta. चलो, so options are x naught omega square pi by 4, x naught omega square 3 pi by 4, x naught 3 pi by 4, x naught omega square minus pi by 4. Chalo, okay students, so see students, in our question equation of acceleration is given, okay, and તમારે ક્યાંથી acceleration find કરવાનું students? From the equation of displacement, આમાંથી. Then compare the both the acceleration, જે તમને given છે e અને જે તમે find કરો છો, compare both the acceleration, okay. Then we get amplitude and delta, okay. Delta is a phase difference, so then we get the phase difference delta. Chalo, so see students, what is x naught cos omega t minus pi by 4? So how to find velocity from x? Velocity is equal to dx by dt, okay. Velocity is equals to what? Dx by dt. So what is x students? X is x naught cos omega t minus pi by 4. So x naught, what is the differentiation of cos? Minus sine. So here we write minus sine omega t minus pi by 4 into omega. X naught common. What is the differentiation of cos? Minus sine. But what is the rule here with respect to time? So what is the coefficient of time? Omega. So multiply with the coefficient of time. In integration divide. But in differentiation multiply with the coefficient of t. What is the coefficient of t? Omega. See, omega t. So what is the coefficient of t? Omega. So multiply with the omega, right? Chalo. So what is the velocity? Minus x naught omega. But students, we want to find acceleration, so again derivative, okay. Chalo, so we want to find so what is acceleration? dv by dt. What is the acceleration? dv by dt. And what is velocity? Minus x naught omega sine omega t minus pi by 4. Okay, what is velocity? Minus x naught omega sine omega t minus pi by 4. What is the differentiation of sine? Cos omega t minus pi by 4. What is the coefficient of t? Omega. So again multiply with what? Omega. Okay, again multiply by with omega. Okay, second differentiation, x naught omega minus x naught omega constant, differentiation of sine cos, and what is the coefficient of t? Omega. Chalo, so what is the acceleration students? Minus x naught omega square, because omega into omega, so omega square cos omega t minus pi by 4. But students, this is not our final form, okay. Right now we cannot come right now because this acceleration is in positive, है ना, but this acceleration is negative. तो તમે કહેશો કે સર તો એમ્પ્લિટ્યુડ તમે નેગેટિવ લઈ લ્યો ને, ઘણા એમ કે સર so this is the amplitude so we can take negative amplitude equal to minus x naught omega square. But see, in our all option amplitude is positive, So we cannot take amplitude as a minus x naught omega square. તો હવે ક્વેશ્ચન એ થાય કે આ માઇનસને રિપ્લેસ કેવી રીતના કરવો. સો સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ માઇનસ ઇન્ડિકેટ વોટ 180 ફેઝ 180 ફેઝ ડિફરન્સ. માઇનસ ઇન્ડિકેટ વોટ 180 ફેઝ ડિફરન્સ. તો જ્યારે બી માઇનસ હોય ને સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ દેન તમારે પ્લસ પાઈ કરી દેવાનું. ઓકે સો we write x naught omega square omega t minus pi by 4 plus pi. Why plus pi? Because acceleration is in negative sign, so that indicate 180 phase difference. What is our final answer? Take LCM, so 4 pi minus pi 3 pi, so 3 pi by 4. Chalo, so students, that is our acceleration. Okay, so now compare. See here amplitude, so here x naught omega square, so here x naught omega square, here amplitude, so what is amplitude, and here delta, so here 3 pi by 4. Okay, so what is the answer? X naught omega square, and what is amplitude? X naught omega square, and what is delta? 3 pi by 4. Chalo, so now see the next question. The graph here 1 and here minus 4 3 4 second 8 second 12 second. This is the displacement versus time graph. Now students, we want to find acceleration. We want to find acceleration when time is 4 by 3 seconds. Okay, the graph of displacement versus time is given. We want to find acceleration when time is 4 by 3 seconds. Okay, we want to find acceleration when time is what? 4 by 3 seconds. Time is 4 by 3 seconds. When time is 4 by 3 seconds, then at that time find acceleration. Okay, see, it is the time of displacement versus time graph is given, displacement versus time. And what are the options? See, √3 by 32 pi square centimeter per second square, pi square by 32 centimeter per second square, pi square by 32 centimeter per second square, minus √3 by 32 pi square centimeter per second square. Sure. Okay students, so that is the displacement versus time graph, and for this we want to find acceleration. Chalo, so see students, what is the formula for acceleration? That we know acceleration is equals to acceleration is equals to minus omega square x. So first we want to find omega, then we want to find x. Okay, we want to find both omega as well as x. So omega means what, students? Omega is equals to 2 pi by t. Omega means what? 2 pi by t. And students, we know the time period. Time period means what? Time required to complete one oscillation. So see students, oscillation is complete in 8 seconds. Okay, કેટલા સેકન્ડમાં oscillation complete થાય છે? 8 seconds. So what is the time period? 8 seconds. So we know the time period 8 seconds. Now find x. X is a displacement. So now we use what? A sin omega t or A cos omega t. કઈ equation use કરીએ to find displacement at time 4/3 second? See students, this displacement time graph start from 0, right? This displacement time graph start from 0. So this displacement time graph starts from 0. So we take sin omega t. શું લેવાનું છે સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ તમારામાં? sin omega t. So what is the equation? A sin omega t. Now amplitude is given. What is the maximum displacement? 1, again in place of omega, 2 pi by t. What is the time? We want to find at 4/3 second. So what is the time, students? Time is 4/3. So 2 pi by 8, 4 into 2, 8. So sin pi by 3, sin pi by 3 means sin 60. So √3 by 2 centimeter. See students, because x is in centimeter and no need to convert centimeter into meter, because acceleration is in terms of centimeter per second square. Chalo, so what is the final answer? What is the time period? 8 seconds. So pi by 4 and it's square. So pi square by 16. So what is the final answer? √3 pi square upon 32 centimeter per second. √3 pi square upon 32 centimeter per second square. Clear? Chalo, so this is the what? Acceleration, students. Now next, body of mass 1 kg, body of mass 1 kg perform simple harmonic motion, and potential energy of body is given by 4 1 minus cos 2x joule. This is its potential energy. Now students, find, this is important question, find time period for small oscillation. Okay, for small oscillation, find time period. Find time period for small oscillation. For small oscillation, we want to find time period. Chalo, done students. So how to find that? See students, first from the potential energy, whenever the potential energy given, students, equation of potential energy, see this is not exact potential energy but it is the equation. So whenever the equation of potential energy is given, then first find force. From the force we find acceleration. Then what is the general formula of acceleration? Omega square x. Then find omega and then time period. So whenever the equation of potential energy is given, what is our mind, students? Find force. So now what is the relation, students? Now we want to discuss what is the relation between potential energy and force. Students, આ relation તમારે work energy power માં આવેલો છે. Force is equals to minus du by dx. It means differentiation of potential energy with respect to distance, then we get force. Okay, or it is known as potential energy gradient, students, because divide by distance, so it is also known as potential energy gradient. How to prove this, students? See, if you want to prove it, then for example, as we know, students, total energy is equals to kinetic plus potential. Now if we take change, now we take here small change, then students, always total energy remain constant, right? Total energy always remain constant. So what is the change in total energy? 0. D means what? Small change in total energy, but total energy constant, so students, its change is 0. So here we write 0. Now change in kinetic energy, yaad karo, change in kinetic energy means work done. Okay, so change in kinetic energy is work done. Work done means force into displacement. So what is F? Minus du by dx. Okay, this is for information, students. Direct તમે યાદ રાખી શકો, force is equals to minus du by dx, where u is what? Potential energy. Chalo, so see, what is the potential energy now? 4 in bracket 1 minus cos 2x. Students, 4 constants, so outside 1 minus differentiation of 1 minus cos 2x. Now what is the answer of differentiation? See, 1 is constant. Okay, 1 is constant, so what is the differentiation of 1? 0. Why differentiation of 1 is 0? Because 1 is a constant. So what is the differentiation of cos? Minus sine. What is the differentiation of cos? Minus sine. So sine 2x into 2. Okay, so sine 2x into 2. Differentiation of cos is negative sign, so minus minus plus, but see here differentiation with respect to x, so what is the coefficient of x? 2, so multiply by 2. Okay, આની પહેલા આપણે differentiation dx by dt, so with respect to time હતું, તો ટાઈમના કોફિશિયન્ટ સાથે મલ્ટીપ્લાય કર્યું હતું, but here differentiation is with respect to x, so multiply with the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? 2. So what is the force, students? Minus 8. Now students, see, it is a small oscillation, means value of sine is small, so we take sine theta equal to theta. Okay, it is given time period for what? For small oscillation, so we take sine theta equal to theta. Okay, because it is clearly given in a question, find time period for small oscillation. Chalo, so what is our answer? Minus 8 into 2x. So what is the force? Minus 16x. What is the force? Minus 16x. Chalo. Now force is equals to ma. What is acceleration? What is the mass? mass is what? 1 kg. And what is acceleration? Minus omega square x. Minus minus cancel, x cancel out, so omega square equal to 16, so omega is equal to 4. Now we want to find time period, so 2 pi by t, so t is equals to 2 pi by 4. So what is the time period? Time period is pi by 2 second. Okay, so done. So what is the time period? This term, students, whenever equation of potential energy is given and if you want to find force, then take differentiation. Okay, force is equals to minus du by dx. Okay, now what is the length of path during SHM? Okay, see, suppose if spring perform SHM motion, students, then spring क्या जैसे maximum A સુધી જાય, नीचे पण A સુધી જાય from the mean position. So what is the length of path? 2a. Okay, so what is the linear? Okay, this is the linear path. So what is the linear path for SHM motion? 2a. Okay, because see, students, if this is its mean position, then maximum એ અહીંયા A સુધી જઈ, નીચે भी maximum A સુધી જઈ. So what is the length of path of SHM? Linear path of SHM is what? 2a. Always remember, linear path for SHM motion, linear path for SHM motion 2a. Okay, what is the linear path for SHM motion? 2a. Now see one question. On 4 centimeter long line, particle perform on 4 centimeter long line, particle perform SHM motion. Okay, on 4 centimeter long line, particle perform which motion? Particle perform simple harmonic motion on 4 centimeter long line. Now velocity of particle at mean position is 12 centimeter per second. Find frequency of particle, find frequency of oscillation. the length of line 2a. Okay. And here 2a is equals to what? Here 2a is equal to 4. So what is the amplitude? 2 centimeter. Clear? Chalo. Now second is what? Velocity of particle at mean position is 12 centimeter. So students આપણે discuss કર્યું to at mean position velocity is maximum. Mean position velocity of SHO is maximum. है ना આપણે જોયું હતું students velocity is equal to plus or minus omega under root s square minus x square. So we discussed that mean position we take x equals to 0 because all the distance are measured from mean position. હવે particular mean position હોય તો એનું distance 0. What is the plus or minus omega? And what is the velocity? Plus or minus omega. So what is the maximum velocity? Omega a. Okay, that we discussed in the last lecture. So remember students, mean position velocity of particle is maximum. So what is the maximum velocity? 12 centimeter per. Amplitude is in centimeter, velocity is also in centimeter per second, so no need to convert. What maximum velocity? Omega a. Omega is 2 pi by t. What is amplitude? So time period. Okay, so 2 into 2 4. So nu is equals to 12 What is the frequency? 3 upon pi hertz. Linear path of SHM, linear path for SHM motion is what? 2a. Chalo, now next question students. Now next question, see for SHM. For SHM time, for SHM motion time period it 8 seconds. For SHM motion time period is what? 8 seconds. For SHM motion time period at 8 seconds. At time 0 it is at the mean position. At time 0 SHO is at the mean position. SHO means simple harmonic oscillator. Okay, so now we want to find what the ratio of the distance traveled by it in the first and second second is the ratio of distance traveled by it in first and second seconds. One upon 2 at a time 0, SHO is at mean position. Now we want to find second. Okay, so students, SHM motion start 0, right? At time 0, this is the position of SHO. So we take equation of displacement equals to a sin omega t. So now we want to find what distance by it in second. So students, see હવે here suppose 1 second and here we take 2 seconds, right? Students, distance travel in 1 second means what? Between 0 and 1 second. Distance travel in second means what? Distance travel between 1 second and second. Distance travel between 1 second and 2 seconds is known as what? Distance travel in second. Okay, मतलब आ बेनु जे distance હોય student, this is known as distance traveled in second. Okay, so what is the meaning by distance travel in third second? Distance traveling in third second means what? Distance travel during 2 seconds and third second. This is known as distance travel during third second. What is the meaning by distance travel during fourth second? Distance travel between third second and fourth second is known as distance travel during fourth second. But our students આમાં જો, so this is our two distance. We want to find the ratio of these two distance. This is what? Distance travel in first second. So it is x1 students. આમાં તો તમે ફોર્મ્યુલા લખો એટલે x1 મળી જશે. And this is what? Distance travel during second. Okay, distance travel between first second and second is known as distance travel. Distance travel during 2 seconds and third second is known as distance travel during second. So આ ડિસ્ટન્સ હવે તમે ફોર્મ્યુલામાં કન્સિડર કરો સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ, x ઇક્વલ્સ ટુ a sin ઓમેગા t, તો એ તો તમને ક્યાંથી ડિસ્ટન્સ મેઝર કરશે? બધા ડિસ્ટન્સ ક્યાંથી મેઝર કરે? મીન પોઝિશનથી. તો તમને અગર તમે આ ફોર્મ્યુલામાં 2 સેકન્ડ પ્લેસ કરો તો તમને ડિસ્ટન્સ ક્યાંથી મળે? મીન પોઝિશન. So if we want to find distance travel in second, then we take what? x2 minus x1. Okay, clear? સેમ અગર તમારે આવું હોય કે ટાઈમ 0, આ ફર્સ્ટ સેકન્ડ, આ સેકન્ડ અને આ, તો તમને એમ કહે કે ફાઇન્ડ ડિસ્ટન્સ ટ્રાવેલ ડ્યુરિંગ થર્ડ સેકન્ડ. તો એ કયો ડિસ્ટન્સ થયું? ડિસ્ટન્સ ટ્રાવેલ ડ્યુરિંગ થર્ડ સેકન્ડ મીન્સ ડિસ્ટન્સ ટ્રાવેલ બિટવીન 2 સેકન્ડ એન્ડ થર્ડ સેકન્ડ. તો તમારે શું ફાઇન્ડ કરવાનું? ફર્સ્ટ x2, then x3, then x3 minus x2. So we get distance travel in third second. Okay, x2 is known as distance travel during 2 seconds. x3 is known as distance travel during 3 seconds. So આ during અને in માં થોડું ધ્યાન રાખજો સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ. ફર્સ્ટ સેકન્ડમાં તો વાંધો ન આવે. સો x1 is what? x1 is what? Distance. What is x1? Distance travel in first second, and x1 minus x2, sorry, x2 minus x1 is what? Distance traveled in seconds. Chalo, so first find x1, then x2, then minus. Okay, chalo. So what is our formula? X equals to a sin omega t. X equals to a sin omega t. So if first x1, so amplitude a omega means 2 pi by t. What is time? 1 second. What is time period? 8 seconds. So 2 pi by 8 means pi by 4, and sin pi by 4 1 by root 2. So we get x1. Now find x2. x2 means distance travel during 2 seconds. Okay, chalo. So a omega 2 pi by t what is time? 2 seconds. So 2 pi by 8, 2 pi into 2 pi, 4 pi, 4 pi by 8, pi by 2, sin pi by 2, 1. So this is x2. What is the distance traveled during second? x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1 means what? Distance traveled between 2 seconds and 1 second. So it is known as distance traveled during second. So x2 minus x1. So x2 is what? A. x1 is a by root 2. A common. Take LCM. Okay, chalo. Now we want to find ratio. Now we want to find ratio of what? Distance travel in first second, so x1, distance travel in second, so x2 minus x1. So in first second, what is the distance travel? A by root 2. So a cancel, root 2 cancel, so 1 upon root 2 minus 1. Sure. Now students, next topic. Chalo, suppose this is the spring, students. What is the length of spring? Suppose L. And what is the spring constant? K. Okay. Now students, this spring is divided into two equal parts. Okay, now spring is divided into two equal parts. So what is the spring constant of each part? We want to find spring constant of each part. Sure. So now see students, this spring is divided into two equal parts. Suppose here length L by 2, here length L by 2. Now we want to find spring constant of each part. Why? Because here, why length is L by 2? Because spring is divided into two equal parts. So what is the length? L by 2. Pachi unequal parts I kariye, but pehla equal parts. So now students, what is the spring constant? See, F is equals to Kx, but here we write Kl. Now F is a restoring force. So students, restoring force depends on material of a spring. Okay. Different spring matter, for different spring restoring force is different. એટલે ડાયમેન્શનો પર ડિપેન્ડ નહીં કરે. સો સી સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ, તમે કટ કરો છો તો પણ સ્પ્રિંગનું મટીરિયલ તો સેમ જ રહી છે. સો ઇટ મીન્સ એફ રિમેન્સ સેમ, એફ ચેન્જ નહીં થાય. So we can write that K is inversely proportional to length. K is inversely proportional to length. So now if length becomes half, then spring constant becomes double. Okay. Why? Because they are inversely proportional. Force same students, because that depends on the material. When we cut the spring, material to same hai. So now when length half, see length becomes half, so length half. So spring constant double, because they are inversely proportional. So when length becomes half, K becomes double. Okay. So what is the spring constant of each part? 2K. Similar same students, if spring constant of K and suppose here length L. Now a spring is cut into three equal parts. The spring is cut into three equal parts. Then what is the length of each part? L by 3. Why? Because the spring is divided into three equal parts. If spring is divided into four equal parts, then length becomes L by 4. Here spring is divided into three equal parts. So length of each part becomes what? L by 3. So what is the spring constant? that becomes 3K, 3K and 3K. Why? Because inversely proportional, length 3 times decrease, so spring constant becomes 3 times. Okay, same way students, remember this. If spring is divided into n equal parts, if spring is divided into n equal parts, then length then spring constant of each part becomes Nk. Okay, what is the spring constant of each part? Becomes Nk. Okay, so see students, this is the initial spring of spring constant K and length L. Now this spring is cut into n equal parts. Length of each part L by n. If spring is divided into parts, then L by 2, L by 2. If spring is divided into 3 parts, then L by 3, L by 3, L by 3. If spring is divided into 4 parts, then L by 4, L by 4, L by 4. Here spring is divided into n parts, so L by n, L by n, L by n. And what is the spring constant then? Inversely proportional. So spring constant becomes Nk, Nk, Nk. Okay. So remember this, K is inversely proportional to